In this video, we are going to talk all about the 3 main myths about Squarespace, and then I'm going to tell you sort of the correct version and the facts about all of those things. So there is a decent amount of misinformation out there about Squarespace. So I wanted to set the record straight today, if you want. So let's see. Number 1 thing about Squarespace that people in the world generally get wrong is that it sucks for SEO. I've heard this one so much. I literally just had someone email me before this, responded to my email, and said, hey, I'm on WordPress, really wanting to switch, but I hear Squarespace is terrible for SEO. Is that true? So I literally just wrote a blog post about this as well, which you can also go read if you want to. But I'm going to give you like the quick facts. So search engines, Google, let's be honest, like that's who you want to make happy in the world these days. There are a lot of things that go into the ranking factors, but the main 3, I guess you could say, are high quality, relevant links back to your website, really fabulous, relevant niche content, good quality, valuable content. Like that's the most important thing in the world. Having your site set up correctly is kind of important. And then I'm going to also talk about the plugin myth. So let's start off with links. Having links back to your website is basically other websites telling Google, like, this website knows what they're talking about. And if those links come from high quality websites, like websites that have a really high domain authority, then that's going to do really good things for you. So say if like Oprah.com was the example I gave in the blog post. If Oprah.com links to you, Oprah is super legit, like everyone knows that. And if she links back to you, that's basically Oprah saying like, hey, this person is really wonderful at XYZ thing. They have authority in this area. So links back to your website are building your authority. Now, if you have a bunch of like links from really small, not so high authority websites or super irrelevant websites, like say you are a wedding planner and you get a link from a plumbing company that's probably like it's not super relevant, and Google has sort of caught on to this thing that people used to do back in the day where they would just like buy links from random websites, and that unfortunately doesn't work anymore. Google got smarter than that. So of course, when it comes to links back to your website, where your website is built, like if it's built on Squarespace or Wix or Weebly or Showit or Shopify or any of those zillion things, getting links back to your website, it's irrelevant which content platform you're actually using to build your website. So that's one of the main ranking factors, and if you're using Squarespace, it doesn't make a difference for that one. The other thing is super high quality content. Now, assuming you can create a blog or just really high quality pages on your website, this also, it doesn't make a difference which platform you're using. So for example, I am a Squarespace website designer. I talk about Squarespace website design on my blog constantly. And so I have now been ranking very highly in Google for things related to Squarespace website design. Now, there's other websites which I've seen. So, of course, I'm just talking about Squarespace, and I have a Squarespace website. So, however, there's other industries where I'm just Googling for random things, and Squarespace websites are coming up on the first page of Google consistently. So, to be honest, how good your content is makes a lot more of a difference than what platform your website is built on. If your content sucks, it doesn't matter what platform your website is built on. No amount of, amazing website platform is going to really change that. So you need to have truly valuable content, and not just like random content, but content on a specific niche topic. So then Google starts to associate, okay, this person talks about this topic. Therefore, you might not rank, so I won't rank highly for wedding planner in Texas because I don't have anything to do with that. But when it comes to Squarespace, I will rank very highly for that. So yeah. Then the other thing I want to talk about is the plugin myth. Oh my God, this one gets to me. So I was at a conference. It was October. It was in Ireland. It was great. And there was a girl talking about SEO strategy, and I loved her talk. It was amazing. She is a WordPress user. She loves WordPress. And someone had asked her about, okay, so if I add a plugin to my website, is that going to make me rank higher? And she said, just adding a plugin to your WordPress website doesn't do anything to actually increase your Google rank. Like, just adding the plugin in and of itself does a whole lot of nothing. Now, however, if The plugin, she said, you could basically think of it as like a digital checklist. So when you say write your blog post, then this digital checklist, your WordPress plugin, will pop up and say like, hey, you're missing a keyword in your title, or you're missing a keyword in your URL slug, or you should have these keywords throughout here, or name your images related to these keywords. And so it's basically just giving you a digital checklist. If you literally just made yourself like a low-tech written checklist, that would totally work as well. So what SEO plugins do is they are reminding you of the important things that you need to make sure that you include in your blog post or page content. But just adding a plugin doesn't actually increase your Google rank. Just adding it doesn't suddenly like just give it more SEO juice. If it did, everyone else would just be adding plugins and landing on the first page of Google, but there's only so many spots on the first page of Google. So that's the plugin myth. Squarespace doesn't have plugins. Now, I should have written this down. Anthony Casalena, the founder of Squarespace, he was answering someone in a Quora forum who was asking about this SEO Squarespace issue. And I wish I had it written down. He said, basically, I'll just like try and paraphrase him. He said pretty much that Squarespace looks at all of the top WordPress plugins consistently, and then they just make sure that whatever the WordPress plugins are doing, they just do it at their core. You don't need to add some new thing to your website. They just build all of those important aspects into their platform in the first place, which is great because you don't need to add plugins and deal with updating them and trying to search for the best one because they've already finished it for you. So it's not like Squarespace just forgot about SEO. They are consistently looking at what's working, and then they are incorporating that into their platform. So if anything, I'd say it makes your life easier, to be honest. Okay, let's talk about myth number 2. If you have any questions about the SEO bit, feel free to leave me a comment. I'm super happy to respond to you after. So I heard another myth about Squarespace. This one was funny. They said, you don't own your content. When you upload it to Squarespace, then Squarespace owns it and they can do whatever they want with it. And so I went and looked at the Squarespace terms of service because I really wanted to like get down to the actual truth about that one. And so if you read it, I do encourage you to actually go read it. I think it's like squarespace.com/terms of service. What it says is when you upload your content to Squarespace, they had like the technical bit and then they had like the explained bit, and they're like, when you upload your content to Squarespace, you give us permission to use your content in whatever way you want us to use your content. So that means that like you have to give us permission to use it so that we can use it in the way that you want us to use it. So you tell us what to do with your content. That's how it works. So I hope that one's a little bit more clear. And then the last one. Oh my God. People are always like, you can't customize Squarespace. You're just stuck with the template and then you can't do anything with it. And to be honest, if your website looks just like the template, there are probably 90 zillion Squarespace features that you just have not found yet. When I was starting with Squarespace, I think like 4 or 5 years ago now, I was legitimately like a year or two into using the platform and I was still finding new things. Like there was all of these other features that I just had no idea about, and then I came to realize that they existed the entire time. I was like, oh my God, I could have made my life so much easier if I knew they were there. So bottom line is Squarespace can be super customized. I can show you, actually, if you go again to my blog, if you go in the search bar, towards the bottom, I have like example inspiration websites. So yeah, head in the search bar, search example inspiration websites. I have a bunch of blog posts that show you some like amazing websites built on Squarespace. And these websites look nothing like a template. Like they are completely customized. The thing is, the people who have created them generally, like designers or people who have been using the platform and really know what they're doing. So if you're just taking the regular template and you're just putting like, I'm going to swap my photo here and then I'm going to put my text there, but like change nothing else, then yeah, it's going to turn out to look probably just like the template. That's completely true. But if you truly learn the platform, there are so many things that you can do. It will blow your mind. And so I do encourage you to go look at some of those websites on the blog, because once you see them, you'll be like, oh, you can do a lot here. I just need to figure out how exactly that happens. So I hope those answered some of your myth questions. Of course, if you have more, then feel free to leave them in the comments.